What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Unsolicited Role Models. Role models you may not want, but you may just need. Damn, it's been a while since I said that. We've been doing Unsolicited Unfiltered so much, bro.
We just go with the flow.
Yeah. For real. Anyways, I'm your boy Big Dave.
I'm your boy Ali.
Podcast Hooray in the background.
Here.
We got a very special guest, the Barrel Drip Vraj.
Hello.
So we always got to start. How did the Barrel Drip come about?
No, I'm not kidding you. It was my first stop in Kentucky a few years ago. I was touring the Buffalo Trace Distillery. It's like when it comes to the bourbon world, that's like the Rolls Royce of bourbons. Nothing that crazy. It's just all the name. But anyways, we were touring that. We were going through one of the rick houses, and one of the barrels was actually leaking. So I put my finger down there and I started licking the barrel. And then I look over to some of my friends that were with me. I'm like, yo, this barrel is dripping. So then we started picking barrels. We started doing a lot of barrels. Then we had at that point we had 2 stores that we were playing the barrels with, and we had 3. So then we had to come up with a name. I'm like, how do I do this? So there were 2 names that stuck with me. The Barrel Drip because I actually had a story to it. The second was Barrel Robbery, and I didn't really like it. But then the Barrel Drip only because I had the story. It was actually I stuck with it, and then I ran with it, and it's getting somewhere. And let's hope it gets to where I want it to get.
Yeah. So what was the first Barrel Drip product?
The Burning Chair, Savage and Cook Distillery out of California. The same company that owns Prisoner Wines. These are high quality California wines. They started distilling some bourbons. So what started happening was they were coming up with not private barrels, but it's like a private blend. Okay. So what they were doing was they were finishing their bourbons in 3 different wine casks, and then they would then let us make a blend of these 3 different wine casks that these bourbons were finishing individually. That was the first thing, and it was a big hit. And then from there it was just one after the other. Last year I picked about 20 barrels. This year so far I've picked about 10 to 15. I'm going to Kentucky next week to pick more.
Where you doing all your products at?
4 different stores, but mainly at Whitty's. Whitty's is the headquarter.
Okay.
And then whatever the barrels we pick, every single barrel gets split between the 4 stores: Whitty's, Metro, House of Wine in Westfield, and House of Wine in Boonton.
Okay, that's one cool.
So are there any plans to open up any stores statewide, like tri-state area or?
Well, with
south?
the liquor industry, it's tough because one person can only have their name on 2 licenses.
Mm-hmm.
It's controlled, so it's just tough to go as big as you want sometimes.
Yeah,
but you also don't want to bastardize it. You want to keep it. You want to keep the monopoly. So you want
to keep it local to an extent.
You want to keep it local. You want to keep it not small,
right,
but smaller to a point where you make it a destination.
Right, it's like that
people.
median. Yeah.
I want to know, how'd you bring this idea up to these different manufacturers? You have the Tequila Tesoro, Mexico. How'd you get into that one?
Well, private barrels were happening a long time ago. It wasn't as big as what it is now. Now, especially because of the economy too, selling a barrel for these distilleries is a lot more convenient than selling cases. So, for example, let's say a barrel of Elijah Craig. If I were to go try to pick a barrel of Elijah Craig 5 years from now, it would have been much harder. Now they're just, because the economy, business is slow and everything, they want to, if a random person comes and wants a barrel, they'll give it to them. Only because they want the volume. But of course you don't want to, that's that way too. You have to be smart about what you're picking. You can't just pick everything, because then you're gonna sit on a lot of things. I mean, yeah, a lot of things will taste good, but you have to know what will work.
So when you get your product, say you get what do you have over there?
There's a few ones. Which one are you pointing at?
Anyone.
Let's say
the Maker's Mark.
Let's the Maker's Mark.
So you get Maker's Mark. Now, do you reach out to Maker's Mark themselves, or do you get the Maker's Mark off the shelf and then rebarrel it yourself?
So
how does it work?
So what happens is Maker's Mark, Altasar, both are owned by the same company.
Okay.
Beam Suntory. So every year a distillery will set out a number of barrels that will go as private barrels in the entire country. Then let's say they picked out 50 barrels. New Jersey will get 5 of those. And then whoever works for Beams and Torrey in the state of New Jersey as their state manager, whatever, they will then reach out to the key accounts or the accounts that has a base of has a base barrel pick location or just platform if they're interested.
And you would just get that personal barrel. It would only go to you though.
Correct. So whatever the barrels we pick, we buy the entire barrel. So whatever that juice is inside, no 2 barrels will ever taste the same. So whatever the juice that is inside the barrel, that's all coming to us. So that way it's our own exclusive.
That's pretty cool. Because I mean, this is the first time I see like your product is the first time I see like the barrel drip limited edition. Like you go to the stores and you see El Tesoro all the time, you see Maker's Mark all the time, and they're just Maker's Mark.
Mm-hmm.
But yours actually has a branding on them with the amount of bottles that you have.
Yes.
Which that was the first time.
Well, because also there's some barrels that would only yield so many bottles.
I figured you wanted some. Podcast hooray over there.
And this is the vodka guy. This is the vodka guy.
I hope he likes it.
I heard drip and I was down. Pause.
I tell you, like, I mean, if you guys want to try some, we could try some.
So, since he opened the Makers, let's start with the Makers.
Is that a good one to start with, though?
You can go either way, but it doesn't matter.
That one turned off.
And which one?
I'm not worried about that one.
I'll tell you what, it's a nice sweet smell.
You got to give me the other cup, bro. Just a nice little bit. We ain't getting drunk over here.
A little bit more. There's a little bit more to this. It's
right
not. It wasn't just a barrel that we picked. We actually doctored it. So if you look at the front of the bottle,
Yeah.
Oof.
How you get that candle joint on there?
No, that's how Maker's Mark comes.
You know, but how did he get it? Do they make it for you there?
So all right. So let me tell you what we do with this one. This is the most fun one. Let's just keep it that way. And there's another one that I'm actually going to be picking next week in Kentucky. 4 Roses and Maker's Mark, most fun ones.
So you're in Kentucky a lot. I'm sorry to cut you off.
Yeah. So most of the time, what we do is we go into the work house. They're usually barrels put aside for you to try, usually in the sets of 3, 5, 7, and then if you're lucky, the master is going to be like, put in the barrel you want to try, and I'll drill a hole into it and we'll try. But this one, we pick the barrel first. Then what we do is there are 5 different flavored oak staves that we try individually, and then we make a recipe of 10 oak staves of these 5 flavors that go into the barrel for the last 2 months of maturation. So we are literally manipulating this flavor of the Maker's Mark barrel that we selected into what we want it to taste like. This is our 3rd one that we did, and every time we do it, every time I do it, I think we're getting better and better.
Yeah, that's where it becomes unique.
So
it's your own.
Basically, you go up to their distribution.
Yeah.
Maker's Mark bottles it for you.
Mm-hmm.
Then they send it back to New Jersey.
Yep. It goes to the distributors.
Distributor in Jersey, and then the distributor in Jersey sends it to you. Yep. That's how he gets the damn wax on there. All right.
Well, let's not delay, fellas.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Mm-hmm. Enjoy it.
It's sweet too.
Mm.
This gotta last me the whole night.
This is bottled 110 proof.
How much does this bottle go for?
$70.
That's not bad.
How much?
$70.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Makers, it's not bad.
No.
I'm gonna tell you.
And it's not just Makers, like he was just explaining.
It's our own creation.
Exactly.
So the first time I was there at Makers doing this, which was the second one, because the first one we actually just did it in Jersey, because they give you the barrel samples, you pick the barrel, and then you try the different oak staves, the flavored oak staves, and then from there you just make your recipe. But actually going there and doing it, it's a different experience. I'm
gonna say this: do you just love going to the place instead, picking your barrels, having it created there instead of it coming to Jersey first and then bottling up here?
So every distillery has their own bottling section where all the bottles have to get bottled at their own
facility.
Even if it's our label, they make our, like, we tell them what to put on it, but then they make it.
Okay, so
and they bottle it there.
So I'll change that. Would you rather go to the distillery first and try it at the distillery direct
1000%
instead of trying it at the distributor that reaches it here?
So I was just talking to him earlier about it. So what happens is I try to go to the distilleries to pick barrels as much as possible, only because they will send you like 3 to 5 barrel samples if you can't go, which is not a problem. But what happens is, again, you can't expect them to really be looking out for your barrel. So what then happens is when they go to the warehouse, they're gonna go and walk in and then, all right, first 3 barrels, pull the samples, send them. Where if you go, there's the difference between the barrels are the level of the floor, how high they're racked on within the floor itself, where it is in the rick house. If it's on the east side, it's going to be a little bit hotter because that's where the sun is most of the day, versus if it's right in the center where there's no sunlight reaching, it's not going to be as hot. It's going to be one of those smoother, easy drinking whiskeys, which there's nothing wrong with it. But if you're going to put your name on something, you want something that has a nice roller coaster feeling.
Yeah.
As a pattern of flavors.
Did you learn this as you went on?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, first time I was doing them, I had no idea.
You're like, just give me that bottle. That barrel
tastes good. I had no idea, but I was just eager to learn.
I mean, because I wouldn't walk in there and be like, okay, this side is the more hotter side. This is the cooler side. I'm gonna get.
I would assume that's from experience, like you taste,
Yeah. Well, that too. Yeah. So like, it's all in theory, but then when you taste it and when it matches the theory, then you know it's true.
Exactly.
Not too bad.
Not too bad, bro.
I'm gonna get warm over here. So.
That is fucking amazing. It's good.
I'm definitely not drinking any tequila. I might after Nacio, I might take a drink of.
It is delicious.
So this is the first one where we actually went heavy on the spice.
I was gonna say because it is a little warmer in the back, and you could taste the flavor.
There's an oak stave that literally says it's flavor. The flavor is spice. And we actually went not heavy, but we did 2 staves of those. Usually, where in the first 2 we only did 1, and then we also took out the sweetest stave that there is out of the 5. So we actually didn't use one of the staves. We only used 4.
That's the holiday special. That's for the holidays right there.
Spicy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. I know everybody puts rum and coquito, but damn, bro, like this might make a little difference.
I had a question because I'm not a big bourbon whiskey guy, but I do dabble at times. Would you say would this be a great for let's say old fashioned?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So old fashioned, Manhattan, like you don't want to cheap out on making these 2 cocktails because these 2 cocktails are the only ones where your spirit is majority of the cocktail itself.
It's almost like a cigar in a sense. If you think about it.
Yeah. It pairs well with.
I'm gonna tell you, man.
Cigars.
He had a cigar for a tequila.
That's wild.
And we all know I'm a tequila drinker.
Yeah.
And that cigar with the tequila was on point. The Código. And it's funny because what is it? A Blanco, right? The Código?
No, it's a Reposado. It's a Reposado that's aged in a Cabernet wine cask.
Because we tried a Código by itself, the Blanco one, and it wasn't that good by itself.
Yeah.
Like it was more of a mixer to me.
Yep.
Or it's meant for like a shot, Yeah.
That's what Blancos are anyway.
Yeah, throwing it back, bro. Pause. No did it. Now, the one bottle, is that a wine?
Which one?
Yes.
No, that is whiskey. If you picked it up, let's get into this.
Yeah.
I'm drinking that too.
Well, you poured a whole cup over there, man.
Hey, this is local, right? This is made in Newark, New Jersey, in the Brick City.
Oh wow!
It's not a bourbon or a rye. What this is, it's actually 50-50 combination of Ireland grown, so Irish grown malted barley with Kentucky grown blue corn.
Okay.
So the guy Bill who owns this distillery, All Points West in Newark, he's very modest, very humble guy. He's like, I'm not going to go ahead and go try to make bourbon because Kentucky already makes it at a much lower cost.
Yeah.
So like I wouldn't really have anything to like brag about of myself. So he's like, let me make something, because whiskey came to America from Europe, from Scotland, Ireland. Right. So he's like, let me make something that shows a marriage of whiskey traveling into America. So he used 50% of the malted barley, which is your Scotch or Irish whiskeys are mainly just malted barley, if not everything. Because when it says single malt, it's 100% malted barley.
Okay.
So he's like, let me just make something that shows the transition. So he made this. Well, he's been making this for a while. And then a couple of months ago, he came to me and he's like, Vraj, I made a barrel. And it's the best whiskey we've made so far. And I would like you to take the entire barrel. Small 15-gallon barrel, nothing crazy.
I'm not gonna lie, that it looks like a nice wine in there. Like if you took the
deep red,
like it's got a deep red color to it.
So
it's a pretty dark.
So it's finished in their own rum cask, which I'm not a huge fan of rum cask finished whiskeys, because it just adds that sugariness, which I don't really like. But their rum is light. So when I tried it, I was like, all right, not bad. But the funny thing is, when he first brought me the sample, it was 2 months before he bottled it. The bottle was proofed at 137.4.
Oh, shit.
And the estimated yield was 60 bottles. 2 months later, when he actually bottled it, proof went up to 139.4.
Wow.
Because he left the barrel on top of in the rick house, he left it on the very top layer.
So you got less bottles out of it.
So when it's at the very top, because the top layer is always going to get more hot.
Yeah.
So any spirit, whatever spirit, when you age it in a barrel, there's something called angel share. So alcohol evaporates.
Yes.
What's that called again? Angel share?
Angel share.
That's what I'm talking
I
about.
like that.
Angel share.
There you go. It's the best thing that
they always say, like, if you get a 30-year, it's less bottles, because the longer it sits, the more you lose.
Yeah.
That's
shared it with the angels. I get it.
Yeah, because it evaporates, but it gets stronger, it gets smoother. So that's why usually, I guess, longer years is more price, because you get less of it.
Less of it. Yep.
It's concentrated, right?
Not always. Not always.
I think it's more smoother, right?
Not always. I mean, it's, if anything, it's going to be more oaky.
Okay.
Because it's just, for 30 years, it's just eating up on that wood. But it also depends on what kind of barrel it was. If it was a used barrel, then not so much, because used barrels they don't give off as much flavors, where your American whiskeys have to be aged in new barrels. So that's why bourbon, when it's 10, 15 years, it's much oakier than a Scotch that's 10, 15 years old, because Scotches are mostly aged in used casks.
And tequilas are in used barrels.
Yeah, tequila too. Yeah, used barrels.
Used barrels all the time.
Yeah, actually, the Atanasio is not, though.
No,
it's French oak.
So, and everybody uses white oak.
Yeah,
so that's French oak.
So three different reposados that I have at the store right now as our private barrels. One's aged in Cabernet cask. One's aged in Knob Creek bourbon barrels, and the Atanasio is aged in French oak cask.
What's the Cabernet?
They don't disclose it.
No. What's the name of it?
Cabernet is a type of California.
No. Wine. What's the name of the company, the brand
of the wine? They don't disclose it.
No.
Sometimes they.
And it's a tequila.
No. The Cabernet is so Código Reposado. The barrel that we selected was aged in a Cabernet wine cask. But which wine, they don't disclose.
They don't disclose,
because if they disclose it, then they have to give.
That's the secret sauce, man.
Yeah.
Not even that. They just. I think it's more about the money, because if you disclose it, then you have to give them the money.
Okay.
For giving the credits,
right?
And that.
Who's the tequila company that used that?
Código.
It was the Código one. The one that I drank.
Yep.
That's why. So
I
think it's amazing.
So back to this one, when he bottled it, because of the angel share, and since it was left on the top, we only got 26 bottles.
Wow.
At 139.4 proof. For if you want to
try, I gotta try 26 bottles only. I gotta try some of that.
Yeah, man.
It's crazy though, because look at the color in the bottle and look at the color in here.
It's like a golden brown.
But in the bottle, it looks reddish.
Like
it's in a bottle, it's gonna be darker.
But damn, like those still look like the caramel color.
Yeah.
But that one, when you pour it, it looks caramel.
Yes.
But when it's sitting like that, it looks red.
It's all crumbled up together.
It's like Ashanti skin.
It is. Yeah.
So there's a term in the bourbon world or the whiskey world that's called hazmat. Hazmat is any bourbon that's proofed over or bottled over 140 proof, 140 and above. It's called a hazmat.
But this is only 139.
So this is almost a hazmat.
It's right there.
It's right there because in Jersey it's if I pick a barrel of hazmat from Tennessee, they can't ship it to Jersey then.
It's too strong.
It's too strong. It's too hazardous.
Damn.
You can start the car with that bitch.
So you literally got to drive there, pick it up.
And legally you can't do that. So there's no way around it.
So you got to illegally. We're not telling y'all to go do that, but you would have to illegally import it.
So there's a loophole actually in the system where it only works if you're buying this barrel that's bottled over 140 proof from a store in Kentucky. Because from Kentucky has the best liquor laws in the world.
Well, yeah.
Because
that's the hub.
I can buy a bottle here personally and sell it at my bar in Kentucky, and it's legal. You can do that, which I think it's right because when you're traveling, you want to collect some bottles. You don't collect to drink by yourself. You collect to show it to people. You want to share with people. Yeah, you want to keep it at your bar to show it, and then you want to share with other people.
Right.
So, and like Jersey, you can't do that. That's illegal. You have to buy whatever we sell in Jersey, we have to buy from our distributors. But then there's this loophole where we can do a collateral exchange with a store in Kentucky.
All right, that makes sense. Cheers, because I'm about to drink this, and you can't drink without saluting.
Cheers.
I gotta make it home.
So this, if you smell it smells like rum.
It does.
Ooh.
No, this tastes real good.
Yeah, this packs a punch.
It does pack a punch though.
That shit hits. See, I wouldn't be able to sip this.
Take the second sip.
Sometimes you need some ice with it, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
not with ice.
I do.
Then some people say ice. If you don't want to go that heavy, you put like drops of water in it.
So technically, you drink your whiskey however you want to drink it.
Right.
And no other person can tell you how to drink it and how to drink it.
That second sip was different.
But scientifically, the way to drink whiskey and why not to put ice, because when there's a liquid that's been distilled and put in a closed environment for a long period of time, there are these covalent bonds that form within the whiskey, so it's tight. So what happens if you put ice in it? It lowers the temperature, and when you lower a temperature, something a chemical reaction that you want it to happen, it doesn't happen. So what happens if I leave a glass out here like this? There's enough oxygen in the air that can go inside and break these covalent bonds. So over the period of time, if you leave a glass of whiskey, if you just come back to it 2 hours from now, it will taste much smoother and it will actually have more sugar in it. That's because it's just the oxygen in the air is breaking down these covalent bonds and giving this whiskey more flavor. Not more flavors, it's just putting it on a wider spectrum.
That's almost like a wine decanter.
Basically.
Pour wine into the decanter, you let it sit for a while.
But what ice does is ice just reduces the temperature. When you reduce the temperature of something, chemical reaction, and when oxygen comes in, that's a chemical reaction. And that can only happen at a room temperature or a higher temperature.
So with the ice, that slows down, or it stops completely?
It doesn't stop. It slows down, and by the time it even starts, your whiskey gets diluted.
Yeah.
Oh, so I'm disrespecting it with ice.
Yeah, again, you drink it how you want to drink it, but
be on mine.
They also say like if you're gonna add water in, use room temperature water, and you do little by little.
You literally do 2 drops, and again, I'm like, if you can right now, if you have a little
drink it.
Yeah, I got some left.
Add a drop of water to that. Literally just a drop.
Just a drop.
Yes.
Yeah, bro. You're gonna have to.
All right, let's see, John.
No Diddy. You gotta have to use your finger to. If you're gonna end up pouring too much.
Yeah.
Use your thumb, bro.
Literally a drop.
There you go.
The thumb does the job every time.
There you go.
That was perfect. Drops.
Nah, that was good.
Oh, that's good.
That was the best you were gonna get.
Do I let it sit there? Or
no, you can drink it now. So what I was telling you about how if you leave it out in 2 hours, adding drops of water expedites that process.
Oh.
And you drink room temperature water all the time.
You can tell the difference.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I don't know. I'm warm now. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, whiskey do it.
Yeah, whiskey did
Compared
it.
to compared to that first taste, you tell difference.
Yeah.
But like you said, the second drink from that, the All Points,
Right.
was definitely, it wasn't as harsh.
Not as for to be something that's almost 140 proof. No, absolutely.
Yeah,
not.
because like the first one, it hits you. It's packs a punch.
Yeah.
And then when you started drinking it again, sipping it, it's a whole different.
You have to let your palate get used to it. So I always tell people the first sip that you take of whiskey, don't use that to judge the whiskey.
Right.
Just rinse off your mouth, swallow it, or spit it out, whatever you want to do. And then the second sip,
You gotta watch out. You gotta watch standing around there.
Very true. That's why I mute myself a lot. Look, see? I'm better now.
You gotta watch yourself around them.
and the second sip is where you actually taste all the flavors.
That's
But
crazy.
you have to let your palate get used to it first. If it is something that's high proof that you're trying.
Right.
I'm gonna tell you, I drink a lot of tequila, right? I let you guys know all the time.
Oh, we know.
But I've noticed that when you shake the bottle and you pour it, it's much smoother than pouring it straight out the bottle.
Yeah, it's the same thing. It's breaking it up.
Yeah, because you see the pearls and everything in there. You let it settle and you pour it, it's much smoother. And I always go for those smaller brands and keep the celebrity tequila away from me.
Yeah, they disappoint every single time.
Casamigos had a good run. I mean, it's
But
good
if you look at it, Casamigos did a great job to the actual category, the tequila category.
Right. It did.
Oh,
It introduced a lot more people into tequila,
Yes.
brought a
Yeah.
lot more people into tequila.
that's what I'm saying. There's levels. So like you're gonna start if you're a tequila drinker, you're gonna start with like Patron and all that stuff.
Patron,
And then you're gonna move
Don
up.
Julio, yeah.
It's like Casamigos is your next step up.
Then as you get into it, you start to look at these local guys, up and comers.
Then you start looking at stuff that's certified additive free,
Yes.
Yes.
and then now it's like I said all the time, like certified additive free is the way to go.
Which they're trying to get stopping the little additive free sticker on there. Because I don't know if you heard about Tequila Matchmaker down in Mexico.
I didn't know.
They raided their whole warehouse because of the whole additive free thing. Because a lot of people are starting to see that those top tier ones, Don Julio, Casamigos, they all have additives in it.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Tequila Matchmaker goes out and they test everything. And I believe they were also making their own tequila at one point, and they got raided because big corporate America or big corporate everybody.
What happened is Patron and Don Julio actually used to be additive free and good.
Yes.
But then what happened was Patron got bought out by Bacardi, American company.
Yeah.
Try to meet the supply and demand, so they mass produced. How are you going to mass produce and still make it taste as good?
It's hard.
You gotta find shortcuts. That's what they did. And same thing with Don Julio. Diageo bought Don Julio before Diageo bought it. Don Julio was actually legit.
Yeah.
But then Diageo bought it, same thing. They try to meet the demand, they mass produce, and then to match the flavor, they had to cut shortcuts.
Don Julio now, you only drink that to get shit faced at the end of the day. I think the 70 is the 71 or the 80, something like that.
The 70th anniversary, which is the Añejo Cristalino.
Oh my god, it's like death in a bottle.
It's dog shit.
We brought that. We went to Boston and we brought it out with us. We must have drank it the first night and we're like, yeah, put it back in the freezer. It's sitting in my fridge till this day, and it's probably been in there for like 6 months to a year. I'll never touch it again. It just sits.
Traumatized.
I'll use it as a mixer.
Yeah.
I'll use it as a mixer, make something good drink out of it, but I will never drink that straight up again, even shots.
Somebody gifted me a bottle of Clase Azul on Christmas, and I literally gave it to my friend. I'm like,
Really?
I said, here, you drink it.
Somebody got
Once
me
it's
one too.
empty, give me the bottle because my wife wants it for flowers.
Yeah.
Somebody bought me one
Man,
from my wedding.
I would never get Clase Azul again. I'm traumatized by not even by the drink, just by the behind the scenes of
story.
what happened behind
This
behind
guy.
that. We're already shit faced at this point.
Hold on.
Yeah,
It was my wedding.
it's his wedding. Yeah,
we were
wedding,
here
yeah.
for my wedding. We had it in the backyard.
Oh,
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah,
Hottest day out of the year. Ended up being the hottest day. So we're outside.
At the
We're
end of
drinking.
August, bro.
It was balls. I mean, you're talking about.
No Diddy.
Man, listen.
It was
got
hot.
whatever you got.
That was last year. It was the hottest day of the year.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
We were dying. We were sweating out there.
That's a fact.
Me, him, and our other boy
Yeah.
came downstairs to open the Clase Azul. This guy
What if
takes
I
a
take
knife
shots?
from my boy.
He had a
And he's
Bowie knife.
opening these cups right here that you're drinking from.
He had like a Bowie knife, though. It was like a 7-inch blade, man.
Nah, stop.
Come on, bro.
He's opening these glasses you're drinking out of.
Yeah.
This guy goes and instead of cutting away from his body, cuts towards him and slices his finger.
I filleted my finger.
He probably still got a mark there.
I do. Partial nerve damage, too.
And we've been drinking, so his blood's thin. This guy's bleeding all over the place. 20 minutes later, he's going home.
I didn't go home 20 minutes, man. I thought shit you were, bro.
Nah, you was gone,
It
bro.
was hot too, so yeah, probably, yeah.
Nah, yeah, I was leaking. I was leaking.
It was
I
a
didn't
bad
see the
cut.
cut, but I know that I saw the
Some guy was bleeding everywhere, bro.
Shit.
Meanwhile, our boy that's down here with us, he's like, "Oh no, you'll be fine. Just just clean it up, blah
Put some
blah."
pressure on it.
Then
Yeah,
he goes
put some pressure.
upstairs and he talks to other people. He's like, "Nah, it's fucking bad, bro. It's gonna be stitches." I'm like, "Come on."
So
You should just use that Clase Azul to just clean that wound off.
Yeah,
he could have.
that would have been a good idea.
They're still sitting in the bottom shelf somewhere. What's your favorite like drink? Bourbon, whiskey, rye,
Peter Scotch.
Mm.
and scotch.
Peter Scotch. So Peter Scotch, they're when it comes to Scotch, they're two different ones. There's peated and there's unpeated. Unpeated is your regular Glenlivet, Macallan, Smooth. Peated is with the Peter Scotch is what they actually do is they cut out the peat box at the end of the summer when they're dried up. They cut it out and then they bring it in the same room where the malt is drying. They smoke these peat box as the malt is drying, and then as the malt is drying, it absorbs all these smoke within the actual grain, barley. So when they use the grain to distill it, and then the actual smoke that was first absorbed by the grain, it travels from distillation to aging, and however many years that it's actually been aged in, and then when it gets bottled, those phenols actually stay within the grain for forever. Over the time, it not dies down. It's not going to be as strong, the smokiness, but it's going to be there.
I want to ask you.
It's like a mezcal, but it's like a mezcal of Scotch.
I love mezcals.
Scotch,
Yeah.
I love
Basically.
mezcals, bro.
So you're
Do you get any barrel drip mezcals?
There's just not demand for it. Like I would love to do it. It's just the thing with the barrel is that we have to sell the entire barrel. It's not just few cases we're taking. We have to sell the entire barrel. So we have to also look at
So the volume has to be there.
the volume has to be there. We have to look at our like where to invest. We can't invest into something that only few people can enjoy.
Yeah, because I mean, it took a while for the tequila scene to get back up there. Because, like you said, the bourbons, the whiskeys, like that came up. The tequila was up there at one point, and then it was all bourbon, whiskey, scotch, everything. Now tequila's getting back in there because all these celebrities are back in it, which is a good thing. It's bringing light to tequila. But there's the difference between a tequila drinker and an actual tequila sipper.
Yes.
Because a tequila drinker, they drink whatever.
Yeah.
A sipper, they have a specific taste to them.
Right.
And I consider myself a sipper. I love sipping tequila. Every cigar, I'll have tequila with it. But I got to ask, what was your biggest hurdle when you started the barrel drip?
Exposure. So what I started doing recently was last 2-3 years, go out as much as possible. Do PB events for what's it called? Do events for the town, whatever it may be, and just put barrel drip there on the table. And then we actually started a whiskey club that's part of the store where we do monthly events. And at every event, we introduce or we focus on one of the barrel drip bottles. So if it's Maker's Mark, we do Maker's Mark, and then whatever else Maker's Mark has that is also of high quality. And then when you compare it with, let's say Maker's Mark just released a Cellar Age, which was a 16-year-old Maker's Mark last year. So when we did the Maker's Mark tasting, we did the Cellar Age, their BRT release, which is that they actually stopped doing that, but it was basically what we do, but it's the distiller's version of it.
Okay.
And they used to release 2 of them every year, but they stopped. But so when we started doing this event, so we started getting the crowd behind us. And then whenever like I do when I'm picking the barrels too, I invite customers to pick it with me because essentially they're the ones who are going to be buying it.
That's my move.
Like, I mean, if I go ahead and pick something that I love, but I know most people are not going to like it, then that's not the right thing to do, because it's like,
Well, if you need help with tequila, you let me know.
I got you, bro. Absolutely.
Now,
I love them.
I got a question for you about Japanese whiskey. What's your take on that?
It's good. So there are two different types of Japanese whiskeys, or international whiskeys.
Yeah, tell me about it, because he bought some shit that was disgusting.
Yeah, that was from Costco.
I don't remember the name of it. That shit was nasty.
I remember the name.
He said Costco.
I erased that shit from my mind.
I think
it's just sitting in my bar right there. I'm just like, it's never being touched again.
Oh,
it tasted like rubbing alcohol. It really did.
It was one of the worst.
So no, there's some really good Japanese whiskeys out there.
It wasn't Suntory whiskey. It wasn't that one.
No, but so there are two different types of Japanese whiskeys. One that's you have your Suntories.
Yeah.
You have your there's Hibiki. There's which is part of Suntory. There's Komatagate. So anyway, there are two different types. One is how to make a replica of a Scotch, which is what Suntory is. And then you have traditional rice, like whiskey made out of rice.
Yeah, rice whiskey. Yeah,
and that's like Japanese whiskey. That's what a Japanese whiskey should taste like that. Because back in the day, Japanese people, they were making whiskey, but they were making whiskey out of rice. They weren't making whiskey, but they weren't making whiskey out of barley because they didn't even know what barley was. Yeah. It came from Scotland. So there are two categories. But if you really want to geek out about it, there's some koji fermented made from rice that are just weird, funky, but those are the real Japanese whiskeys.
Have you? So I'm assuming you tasted them.
Yeah.
So
those are good.
Funky
isn't like they taste like liqueurs.
Oh,
because rice is soft.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine having a sake. That was distilled and aged in a barrel.
I see. Okay.
So you would stay away from that Japanese barrel drips whiskey.
Never say never.
Never say never, but that's
see, now you putting thoughts in his head. You're gonna try one now.
But then I also wouldn't go and just go pick a barrel out of Suntory, because then I can get something like that for a lot cheaper.
Right.
If I were to just pick a barrel of Scotch.
Exactly.
Because then it's
the rye the same thing. So yeah.
And the same thing with like a bunch of international whiskeys. Like you have Indian whiskeys too. Like most of them are just, they're ranked based on how good they are, but they're literally, it's like how to make a replica of a Scotch. But again, when you think of whiskey, the first thing that comes in your head is a Scotch.
Right.
So who makes the best whiskey?
Scotland.
I mean, it ain't
gotta go to the OG. Yeah. It
was actually OG is Irish people.
I was gonna say Irish.
Oh.
Yes, but England fucked them over because England wanted money. They realized that barley was actually making this people money by distilling and making whiskey. So England then was like, all right, we're gonna tax on barley. Scotland was rich.
Comes in with everybody though.
Scotland was rich. Scotland paid the tax. Irish people weren't rich, so they cut corners. They actually started mixing cheaper grain into the whiskey, so they don't have to pay tax on, because they were only taxing on barley. If you use any other grain and if you mixed it with it, you don't have to pay tax on it. You only pay tax on.
So you got to find some like moonshiners in Ireland,
basically. Yep,
because that's the best ones you're gonna get. Well, the ones that don't have the tag on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, Irish people were actually the first ones to make whiskey in the world.
Well, I know I shouldn't do it, but I want to try that Atanasio. I'm not gonna lie.
Do it.
Who's popping that open? No, because
not me.
Because it's already been open.
Oh, okay, it's easy.
Yeah, that first one.
God,
I'm not gonna lie, man. I spilled a shot. Here. Oh my god!
Wait, where is the store located?
That's a good question.
Well, you said there's 4 different stores.
So 4 different stores. So
4.
Where I'm at, basically 90. Whatever.
No, time to plug them in.
Time to plug it in.
So where I'm at 90% of the time, it's in Rahway, on St. George's Avenue.
Okay.
Oh, wow. Where Rahway? I'm always in Rahway.
So on St. George's Avenue, right next to CVS, 870 St. George's Avenue.
Oh, you by Miss Bean's restaurant?
Yes. Okay. Well, I don't think the restaurant is there anymore.
By Butch's though.
Yes.
Not too far from Butch's.
Yep.
Shout out to Butchers in the Dirty Bathrooms.
And our other location is in Linden, on the same road down the street, 2 miles ahead on the right hand side, next to the gym, next to Planet Fitness.
Oh, damn, that's a big liquor store too.
No, that's actually pretty decent size. Wheaties is actually a lot bigger.
Yeah, Woody's is huge. When I walked in there, that's one in Raleigh,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
That place is huge, bro. I almost
But
got
then-
lost in there.
Yeah, we got
the
to-
Westwood
we got to
one. The
stop
Westwood
by.
one is our newest one in terms of like the actual building itself, because we actually bought out a TD Bank location and then we flipped it. And then if you like look at, if you're into clothing, that Westville store is basically like a Louis Vuitton store of liquor stores.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's
Dang,
because I mean we were making it from the scratch, so
The
we
barrel
just
drip shirts? You got barrel drip shirts?
not yet. This is Stranahan's.
I'm saying, you making them?
I am.
You got merch?
I'm making t-shirts and hats right now.
All right.
'Cause that's a catchy name to be
Yeah,
honest.
the barrel drip, yes.
It really is.
That's a fire name.
Yeah, it is.
Well, cheers,
I
guys.
Salud.
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 And you'll see me in Raleigh and Linden, bro. I'm over there all the time.
I have to stop by anytime.
Yeah.
No, this is really good.
It's a creeper, man.
It is.
It is a creeper because it doesn't. You don't have that
my
kickback,
God.
even off the first sip.
Oh my God. You gotta try this,
I would-
Ray.
I was
Just a little bit.
Oh, I thought you tried it. No,
No,
you
no,
tried
he's
it.
having the whiskey.
You gotta try. That's the tequila,
That's
though.
the Atanasio.
They're trying to kill me.
Yo, man, it's a sip. So,
This is a sip.
No, it's Wednesday.
yo, let it touch your lips. No diddy. Come on, man.
Oh, wow.
Which is
It's
good
a
thing.
good thing.
There are some really good cognacs that are out there, which I mean,
Any barrel drip cognacs?
it's tough. It's tough because cognacs, they don't do single cask. Armagnacs, they do.
What is it?
Armagnacs, which is, so cognac is a blend of 6 different grapes. Armagnac, or cognac, is also from the region Cognac itself in France. Armagnac is another region, but they can use up to 10 grapes that are grown within that region.
Okay.
So it's basically just a different type of brandy.
So you saw
but it's all-
Armagnac. I thought you saw Armenia.
No, it's French, but
Tennessee's French?
and it's
Yeah,
French.
Hennessy's French,
The fuck?
bro. What the
You thought it was the islands, bro? Because you get the pure white over there? Come on,
Yeah.
man.
I had no idea. I mean, Hennessy. Now it makes sense. I love it.
God.
Yeah, Hennessy's a fashion company. If you go to the distillery, it's basically a factory.
Mm.
If you really want to taste a good Hennessy, you're gonna have to spend thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's going to be private.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but then you have other cognacs that are out there that are same price as Hennessy, but like family made.
Like Douce. Douce tastes better than Hennessy to me.
I stay
This
with
is another one of those just
Yeah,
it's just mass produced.
I was going to say, is that just like, that's like sugar?
it really is, honestly.
Like, that's what messes you up at the end of the night.
He said, anytime I drink Hennessy or Douce, I don't remember shit. So,
I mean, I drink Hennessy pure white. That's the closest I'm going to drink to Hennessy.
no, I won't even drink that anymore. It's not worth it.
I got the bottle in my house. I sip every once in a while. Last time we drank it, it wasn't a good time, to tell you that much.
Yeah, I have to have like a nice sidecar to drink Hennessy. I can't just have Hennessy straight or mixed with Red Bull, whatever the hell people are doing now. But no, it has to be a sidecar, like a nice cocktail.
Are you a cocktail guy or do you?
I love cocktails. I bartended for a year when I was in college,
Yeah.
so I love making cocktails. I like drinking cocktails.
I'm in
What's
love
your
right now.
go-to?
I go to an old fashioned.
Nice.
Yeah.
There's
Me
nothing. There's nothing. The other night, I made an old fashioned with one of our private barrels. It was a Whistle Pig 6-year-old, and then when I had gone to Whistle Pig, I had gotten a bottle of the maple syrup, which was aged in used maples, Whistle Pig bourbon whiskey barrels. So when I was making the old fashioned, I'm like, let me just do this right. So I did our private barrel Whistle Pig. For the sugar, I used the maple syrup that was aged in a Whistle Pig whiskey barrel. And then I did chocolate bitters and your regular the aromatic bitters.
Chocolate bitters, man.
Never thought of that.
It was
Normally,
delicious.
like the orange peel that you'll get on there.
Little smoke.
I got a tequila like a DIY, like do it yourself.
Yeah.
Like yeah. What? Did I say that wrong? DIY.
Maybe.
Yeah, DIY.
Yeah, DIY.
Yeah.
Where like it literally gives you like the orange peels and different stuff, and it gives you the bottle. So you pour your tequila in there and you add everything, and you just let it sit and soak in there. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's dope.
I gotta find a tequila to do. I might do it for the Ciertas Leguas that you got me because Ciertas Leguas Blanco is
Yeah, the
It's
Blanco.
not a
It's a good cocktail tequila.
yeah. It's not good
because it's
sipping.
still additive-free tequila. It's still good quality. It's just I think the agaves that they're using are a bit younger.
Yeah, definitely doesn't hit the same. So, what's your next big release?
Next big release is actually coming in tomorrow.
Oh wow.
You see?
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called Nulu. NULU. It's a
Oh yeah, we were talking about
Yeah.
this earlier.
so I picked 2 barrels out of them a couple months ago. One's going to be a Kentucky straight bourbon. The other one's finished in a toasted barrel, but it's a wheated bourbon.
What's the proof on them?
One is 133, the other is 126. Oh no, 121.
See, that's why I can't drink that stuff, man.
But it's coming in
Save
tomorrow
my
morning.
80 proof tequila.
Nah, it's something that you sip on, you know. Just like when you with your tequila, when you have this distinct, you know.
I sip on that, and as much as I
You're
sip
having
on
a good
tequila, I'd
time.
probably
Trust
be
me.
gone.
Trust me.
It's gonna be like that time I was in DR, bro, and I was live streaming halfway through the day.
If tequila is your thing, that's your thing.
It is. I'm not gonna lie, man. I love tequila. Not saying that I wouldn't drink whiskey, I wouldn't drink bourbon.
I think you just be open to trying different whiskeys.
Yeah.
Right.
Just keep trying them. You might find something you never know.
Exactly.
Well, the Maker's Mark wasn't too bad. It was pretty smooth. The All Point, man, that thing hit at first. But like you said, the second sip was smoother than the first sip.
Because especially like when you're jumping up the proof that much, you have to lay your
So what's
palate.
Maker's Mark at?
110.
And the All Point's at 129, you said?
No, 139.
139.
139.
Yeah, nah. I almost killed myself. Probably start a fire with that thing.
Yeah, you can.
Yeah, that's the reason. Hazmat.
Yeah, man. Hazmat.
Danger
Well, close
proof.
to hazmat.
Close
Yeah.
to hazmat. Almost.
Close.
If you think about it, if everybody just took that 1% down, man, from 140 to 139, you get it across the states easily.
Yeah, and you pay less tax on it. Because then to transport, because to certain states you can, like to New York, you can ship hazmat bottles legally. To Kentucky, you can. There's certain states that doesn't have stricter.
Well, yeah,
laws.
because like Jersey, there's a brewery up in Boston, but you can't ship to New Jersey. from
No,
them.
well, with beer too, it's like depends if they make it chilled, then they can't ship it because it'll go bad.
Okay, makes sense. I mean, whenever I go, I bring the cooler with me.
Imagine freezing the entire shipping
No,
container,
exactly.
the entire truck. I mean, they still some
You get a
breweries actually
refrigerated
do
truck.
it. Yeah, some breweries do
But
it.
it would-
Cape May, their delivery trucks are refrigerated because they just have to.
Yeah. Well, and you gotta think how many kegs you're gonna send out in a chill truck.
But that's local though, so like they have to at least ship it locally within the state.
Yeah. Well, it's a little easier too. So plug yourself in, man. Where they can find you. Instagram, YouTube.
So
whatever.
Instagram, the Barrel Drip, no space.
Okay.
If you want to find me locally, it's my first name, Vraj, VRAJ, K Patel 09.
Okay.
Always available.
Now, I gotta ask this: do you plan on doing like TikTok videos of your product? Because we know TikTok's.
I do. We have TikTok. The Barrel Drip TikTok. It's
Okay.
there. I do. So I haven't been doing TikToks of products. What I do is every month when we have our monthly events with our members, with our whiskey group, I just do a quick little clip, and that's what I put.
Tequila members coming soon.
I mean, when we do it, the tequila one, I'll invite you.
How much is the whiskey membership?
It's per event. And the event depends. If it's a cigar event, then it's cheaper. It's like $50-$60. If it's at Ava's, we're doing a full out like 3 to 4 7-course meal, then it's gonna be higher. Of course.
Right. Course meal anytime. With some tequila.
Yeah.
So next time you have a tequila event, I'm definitely coming out.
Oh, we're going to, because in the summer, I'm thinking about doing one with El Tesoro. So I want to do our private barrel. I want to do their Añejo Lafroy cast finish and Knob Creek finish.
Do you get like limited edition bottles that you sell at your store as well?
We do, yeah. But those we get like very few.
Because it's hard. Like Fortaleza is hard to get.
Fortaleza is hard to get. It's
just grown so much.
It's grown so much, and then I think they're not mass producing, which is a good thing.
Yeah, that's always a good thing.
It's a good thing. They're sticking to what they're capable of, even though demand's up here, but they're
I sent you one
to their capacity.
Video of it. It was like a special edition box that you opened up. I was like, yo, if you find this, let me know. I don't care the price. But I think it was only sent out to certain like creators, content creators. I think it was Fortaleza. It was Fortaleza. I think it was Fortaleza. It was somebody. Forgot what it was. Oh, I can't use my phone right now. But it was somebody that had like it was a special edition. Only certain people I think got it. It was a certain amount of bottles. So those are hard to get because those are usually sent out to content creators, people that buy directly from them a lot.
Right. Gotcha.
So, but if you get some of those, you let me know too, because I would definitely drop. I mean, when I went there last time, I think I spent like over $300.
Yeah, I think so. You bought like I think 6-7 bottles of tequila. You bought these
which is worth it. Especially the Fortaleza, bro. I told you to stock up on that whenever you can. Bro.
You ran out, right?
Yeah. I figured.
Next time, that's all right. I'll get it next time. That's why it's been sitting there quietly because it's only comes out for special occasions.
Yeah. At the Añejo recently, I was at the distributor that sells Fortaleza. They were having a high-end spirit portfolio tasting. So of course Fortaleza was there, Cascanes was there, a bunch of other tequilas were there, Casquin and Casa Siempre, I think. But anyway, there were a bunch of tequilas. So I just went around and like tried all these really good quality tequilas, and then I went to the very corner table at the end, which was Fortaleza, and I tried it, and I'm like,
was this in New York?
No, this was down the shore actually.
Okay, because there's a couple guys that I follow that on Instagram. One guy's up in Massachusetts. What's his name? Luis or something like
that.
The
apron?
Yeah, the apron.
Yeah. I think he was from California for some reason.
No, he's from Massachusetts. He got some bar up there.
Yeah. He has California.
The other guy's from California, I think. It's kind of a heavy-set Mexican dude. I forget his name.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's another guy.
I know the Lewis guy.
Bitches throws the
No.
That's not him?
No, he goes in detail with these tequilas.
Shit.
On point. Like, I'll show you his Instagram when we're done. But yeah, I want to thank you for bringing all this stuff out. I mean, obviously we didn't try it all. We tried what 3 out of the 5 that you brought?
Yeah. Well, I brought 4 actually. The other 2 you already had.
No, you brought 5.
Whistle Pig we didn't try. Whistle Pig we did not try.
Is that your favorite? That is your favorite out of the bunch, right?
Yes.
Because you mentioned it a few times.
Let's try it.
Let's try it.
Only because
last one.
When I was there at the distillery,
Whistle Pig, the blue box.
I'd gone to pick 10-year-old barrels. I tried about like 9 10-year barrels, and I genuinely just didn't like any.
Right.
And the guys over there, for some reason, initially they thought that I was just saying that because I wanted an older barrel, but I'm like, no, like I genuinely don't like it. And then like they're like, oh, why don't you go try the 6-year, which is called the piggyback? And I actually liked one of the piggyback. I'm like, I'm telling you, like it's not that like I don't want a 10-year-old barrel. It's just I'm not finding any that I can really put my name on.
Right.
So then I actually make them go to the Rick House and see if they had any 15-year-old barrels. They had 2. And funny as shit, there was another account from Jersey. I'm not gonna name another store from Jersey who also was interested in a 15-year barrel, but they were hesitant. They were like, because it's expensive, like $250 retail.
That's how much that bottle is?
Yeah, retail. Yeah, so like,
it's
like it's not
I
cheap.
definitely got to drink that then.
It's not cheap. But then, so when the guy came in, like, oh, I have 2 barrels. The other guy was like, oh, I want to try, but he was hesitant. And then so I walk up to the guy, I'm like, if he's hesitant, I'll take both the barrels. I don't even want to try it. Because I just 15-year.
You knew you wanted a 15-year.
15-year Whistle Pig will not be bad. And then I tried it, and I'm like, shit, these are fucking good.
Yeah, that guy's missing out.
But then he got so mad because like we were having this conversation. Because then he walks over to them because he was being hesitant. I told him like, I'll take both the barrels if he's being hesitant. We're in the same room. He's hearing this conversation. And the guy walks over. He's like, sorry, both the barrels are gone. He was mad. You snooze, you lose.
Did he try that?
Yeah.
Did he try it at some point?
No.
I could imagine his face if he actually tried it, and then he's like, "I missed out of that shit."
Mm-hmm.
Like, you see the pour difference, man?
Yeah.
He said, this is my favorite.
Whistle Pig. The name itself, man.
I wonder how Whistle Pig came up with theirs. You know how they came up with Whistle Pig?
So bunch of guys, they started buying barrels out of Canada. So anything Whistle Pig makes that's not the piggyback, so anything that's aged for 10 and older, it's all made in Canada, distilled in Canada.
That's crazy.
You want to try some, Ray?
Yeah, I'll take a swig.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's up your alley, bro. Saint tequila.
Take them from
And then
yours.
Huh?
When I-
Take some from
Oh.
It don't matter. It's all going down the same.
You ain't got none, right?
I hope not.
when I was picking this barrel,
Oh wow.
there were the 2 barrels that they had.
That's really good.
We're gonna change it from a vodka guy.
Good.
Well, I like whiskey. I fuck with whiskey, but
Yeah.
lately
Look at that, bro. It's just slowly dripping on the sides.
This is one of the 2 barrels that we picked, and
Yeah.
those were the only 2 barrels that
Salute,
were
guys.
salute
Salute.
Salute.
were ever going to get bottled for the next few years as private barrels for the 15-year-olds.
Wow, that's actually good.
Mm-hmm.
That flavor is amazing. It's probably the best one there.
This is it right here. This is it.
Nothing against the other ones, but
Nah, man.
wow,
This is just gold.
I
Pure
get it.
gold.
The
I get
notes, yeah, the notes you get instantly.
I get it. I get why this is your favorite.
And it's smooth too, dude.
It's like vanilla frosting with
Yes.
a very subtle spice. Got a lot of orange peel.
I get it, bro.
This is just really good. Something that you can like
Mhm.
sip on and just relax at the end of the day.
Yeah, I take a
You
nap
can
after
wind down
this.
with this, yeah.
I take a nap after that.
Gonna be some good sleep tonight.
Yeah. Well, I want to thank you for coming out, man, bringing all this stuff for us to try out.
Absolutely, man. This is made to be shared.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, that's the thing. A lot of people, they buy bottles and they don't want to bring them out. So it's like, what's up? I buy bottles to
I think,
share.
yeah, it's the point.
That's the, yeah. I mean, of course, you want to share with the right company. You want to share it
Right.
Yeah.
for special
You
occasions.
get all
But
right.
you don't just keep it.
It's
you don't
it's
just
one of
keep it.
those things. Is like you bringing out Whistle Pig. I really appreciate it because
Exactly.
if you say that's your favorite, usually
Exactly.
somebody doesn't want to touch it until like a special occasion.
Yes.
Like Fortaleza, I drink with a certain group of people, which is John and my boy Smiley.
Mhm.
Like that's the 3 tequila guys right there. Even though he was on his
Fast Azul.
no, he stopped drinking for a while.
Fuck that.
So this is his first drink. Well, he's tried a couple of drinks here and there,
Yeah.
but to actually sip on some stuff, it's been a while.
Yeah.
Well, I'm honored.
So,
Thank you for
I
having me.
appreciate
Yeah,
that.
it
Man.
was a pleasure to meet you and get to know your company, what
Of
you're
course.
about, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Especially with this is unique.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's different.
Exactly.
I'm definitely going up there to pick the Atanasio. I'll probably head up there tomorrow because today's payday for me.
I'm there all
What time
day
you gonna be
tomorrow.
there?
11 till 10.
All right, right after work, I'll be up
When I
there.
say 11, it's 12.
Nah, I work till
She runs in Dominican
12:30.
Yeah, so it's actually funny. Like in our Indian culture, we say IST, India's Standard Time,
Oh, wow.
which is always which is always late.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we
You
say Spanish
We're
time.
Hispanics, the same
Yep.
thing. Yeah.
If you early, that means you helping at the end.
Yeah. They
If you go to a party early, you setting up. You setting up. If you're on time at a Spanish person's
Let's go.
party, you setting up the tables.
Yeah.
You putting out the food. That's why you always show up late.
Yeah.
Well, I appreciate it, man. This is a
Of course.
great company. Atanasio is my favorite.
Yeah.
Whistle Pig's got to be my
No,
second
Whistle Pig is
favorite.
my favorite, man.
All Points got to be the third,
Right.
and then Maker's Mark. We didn't try the rye. I'll try that another day.
No problem. If you want to try it tomorrow when you come to the store,
Oh, that's true. And then I'll definitely try. You got any other tequilas up there besides the ones I tried?
no, these are the only 3 as of now.
Okay. Well, I know you got some recommendations for up there
Of course.
too.
We also have a lot of other tequila. We have all the entire line of Cascanas too.
Okay, yeah, because it's what 7, 9.
10.
There's so many of them.
Yeah, there's just different proofs. And
That's
then you have
all right.
and then you
I'll
have the
try 'em.
Reposado and the Añejo.
I'll try them all sooner
Yeah, I
than
might have to
later.
stop by Friday for the Nulu.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna post them as soon as I get them tomorrow.
Okay.
I'm gonna
I've
post
never
them on
heard of
the-
that company.
So they're independent bottlers.
Yeah.
They don't distill anything. They buy barrels from different distilleries that mass produce, and then mainly one of the big one is MGP.
So they buy small batches, basically.
No, they buy single barrels.
Okay.
So Penelope, I don't know if you've heard of Penelope. So
Yeah.
Penelope was doing the same thing. They were buying barrels from MGP, and then MGP bought them out.
Okay.
But
Makes sense.
but that's the thing. It's just like there are a lot of independent bottlers, even in Scotland and in the tequila industry as well, that don't distill their own liquid, but
Mhm.
they get them from a respective source, where MGP is always good. Like there are people now. They're like, oh, there's so much MGP out there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's good.
Yeah.
Like there's a reason. There's a reason why. Like
as long as the end result is good.
Yeah,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
there's a reason why they mass produce or they distill this much whiskey every year and they sell everything because it's good.
Yeah. Well, cheers to a great episode.
Yeah.
Cheers for you coming
Cheers.
on, man,
Thank
and
you.
sharing this
Yes, thank you for coming on.
drinks for us.
Hey, happy to share. This is what it's for. It's to share and appreciate.
Yes.
Well, that was another great episode of Unsolicited Role Models. The role models you may not want, but you may just need. I got it right this time. I'm your boy, Big Dave.
Well, Ali.
Podcast Home Ray in the background. And we got Vraj from the Barrel Drip.
Cheers.